be talking about some meaningful brands. Over to you, Anita.
Good evening, friends. Absolutely delighted and honored to share the stage with management, leadership, and mental fitness gurus. And a big thank you to you, Mr. Puri and Business Today, for having us here. I would like to introduce Havas Media. It's not Havas, it's Havas, because people outside have been asking me, how do you pronounce it? And I said it is, if you say it is Havas, it is well Havas, which according to us is passion, and we live that passion through our organization. We are fourth largest communication group in the world, with almost 2 billion billings and turnovers, and offices in about 135 plus countries. Top 10 in India, with offices across 6 metros and close to about 2,000 plus crores of billing. But that's really about Havas Media, who, as Shweta said, we do offer integrated solutions to clients. But what is more important, and what I'm going to share with you, I know the attention span is 5 minutes, so I'm going to take exactly 5 minutes, is to set the context right. And there could have not been a better context than this to share the study that I'm going to share with you. Through yesterday and today, whether it was Ms. Kidwai who talked about low loyalty and trust of brands, or whether it was Mr. Ramcharan who talked about, the buzzword being customer or consumer-centric, or Peter Docker, who said about, trust and loyalty is a big issue. There is no future for brands who do not have trust and loyalty. Meaningfulness really is absolutely connected to that why that Peter Docker spoke about. And of course, Professor Dorai Swami talked about meaningful environments that organizations create for their employees. So the context is absolutely right. We at Havas Media conduct a meaningful brand study, which we've been doing for about 5 years in a row now. And interestingly, the only global group which does this study, it's proprietary to us. The interesting findings of the study, when we actually went into the study, which is a global study, was very stark and revealing. What it said was that the majority of people worldwide wouldn't care if 73% of the brands disappeared tomorrow. Absolutely stunning. And only 20% of the brands really give any meaning to the customers. So we got thinking, and we said, if this is the story, and we are in the business of advertising, where our money comes from advertising, millions being guzzled behind advertising, and if the brands die really tomorrow and the customers are not concerned about it, or the consumer just doesn't bother, what do we do? So we did adapt a vision internally, which really takes care of the meaningfulness from a brand's perspective. Interestingly, when we asked the consumers and we said, you know what, if there is no Coke tomorrow, what will you do? And they said, so what? We'll drink a Pepsi. And said, if there is no Maruti tomorrow, so what? We'll drive a Hyundai. So there are alternatives which are available, which means when brands or customers look at alternatives, they do not have a bonding or the meaningfulness really with the customers to whom they are offering their services all through. Now, as far as the study goes, really, what we've devised a meaningfulness, which is really the new matrix for brand health. It takes care of human well-being with brands and also about the brand benefits. It looks at everything. It looks at the market outputs, it looks at collective outputs, and also personal outcomes. It does look at the brand from a perspective of human, economic, and financial terms. The study is a robust study. It is third year going in India. The chapter in India is absolutely strong. We cover 12 categories or 12 industries and with 75 brands, whereas globally it's a 2 lakh odd respondent size. It's 23 plus markets, 700 brands, and 12 industries, which has been going on. I have a short video to share with you, and so have a look. So I've exhausted 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of video. Can we have the video, please?
So what is Meaningful Brands? Meaningful Brands is the world's first study into institutions and well-being. It's a really pioneering effort. This relationship between people and institutions is very seriously broken. People don't trust institutions anymore. Trust in all kinds of institutions has been falling for the last several decades. So what we're discovering is that we need to take a quantum leap beyond thinking in terms of an economy about GDP. GDP is just stuff. And the new paradigm that's emerging is not just about stuff, about GDP, about income. It's about outcomes. It's about human well-being. Does every dollar of stuff yield real human benefits or not? is not just more, bigger, faster, cheaper. It's about smarter, fitter, closer, wiser, tougher.
The Meaningful Brand study has revealed many interesting and often unexpected facts about this particular region. The trust is higher, there's much less cynicism, people believe in the brands, they have greater faith in the brands. In fact, when you compare some of the global numbers with Asia, there are some startling differences. 49% of the brands are not what people care for versus the 73% global average. 40% of the people believe in brands, which is twice what the global average is, and there's 6 times more consumer attachment to brands. Really, much more positivism in the Asian region. In fact, homegrown brands, which have been developed and brought up in Asia, have found their way into the top 10 much more easily than the global brands. We encourage all the brands to leverage this.
Indians have registered the strongest relationship with brands. As against a global average of 45%, 68% of Indians trust brands, which means that there is a huge opportunity for Indian brands to connect with the audiences and make them more meaningful. The local brands are the ones which have a huge connect. Out of the 10 top brands, 4 of them are local. LIC, Britannia, Cadbury's, Parle, Tata Motors, LG, Hyundai are some of the most meaningful brands in the Indian context. Hence, it becomes increasingly important to track these brands on the meaningful quotients, and our meaningful brand studies helps do exactly that.
The idea of competitiveness today is not just about selling people more stuff cheaply. It's about really impacting their lives. When you build what we call a meaningful brand, a brand that is able to positively impact people's lives, you don't outperform the markets by a couple of dozen%. You outperform the market by over 100%. And what Meaningful Brands is there to do is to help institutions and companies begin to understand what it means to be competitive in these terms, in the terms of human well-being.
Call us, email us, meet us, and we'll help you get there.
We have a small meaningful token which will be kept on everybody's table. Please carry it home. There'll be a flutter in the room for a bit, but pardon us for that. Thank you so much.